Micheal? Or is it supposed to be
That's
Michael?
probably supposed to be me. I'm pretty sure it's Michael.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to assume that.
Yeah, probably.
Looks,
I can't read people's handwriting most times.
yep.
It's still, like, backwards to me, because wouldn't it be, like, AEL?
Um,
I don't know.
no.
But anyway, it's Green Black Midrange versus Izzet Phoenix. What do you feel about this match?
Um, this is a matchup, classic mid-range matchup where, especially for green black, because I have a lot of experience in that deck. You have the wrong half problem a lot, where you can very easily draw the wrong half of your deck, and just kind of be out of luck against this deck, because it puts into play a lot of quick threats. Uh, Something that they've been a recent adaptation this deck has made is just main decking like 2 Kalitas at least, and that just destroys this deck because it makes all of your removal like actually usable, and it gains you life.
Right.
So Michael's gonna get bolted here in response to this Thoughtseize, so he's taking 5 damage on turn 1. Looking at a hand of Phoenix, Thing in the Ice, Bolt lands. I think you take the Thing in the Ice. That's the only one that matters.
He's taking 6, right? Because he fetched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to Thoughtseize the Phoenix away. I guess the logic there is he's very far away from getting enough spells to put into play, and he just doesn't want him to hardcast it. I don't know if I quite agree with that, although he does have double Liliana in hand, so I guess he doesn't really care about Thing in the Ice because he can just Edict it.
Right. The only thing about putting Phoenix into the yard is you're doing some of the work for him. I didn't see the hand because I was changing the life total here. Did he have Faithless Looting in hand?
No.
Then, like, I would
He had
not take
Bolt
it.
as his other spell.
Right. I wouldn't take the Phoenix because unless he had Faithless Looting in hand, you're doing the work for him. Whereas if he does not see a Faithless Looting, Phoenix never ends up in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right. Scott here has no green source in hand. He has a second swamp. So during his next turn, he's going to have to decide whether he wants to play the Liliana out or Field of Ruin to get a green source.
Right. So this is really interesting from Kevin of why did he not just play the Steam Vents untapped and then double bolt Scott and then bring Phoenix back? Because I'm pretty sure he just drew.
He only has 1 bolt.
I think he just drew another one off the Thought Scour though.
Did he? I can't see his hand.
I'm pretty sure he did.
What? I pressed E? Hello?
All right. Well, Scott's pretty happy to trade Liliana for Bolt and Thing in the Ice.
Yeah, because that's a lightning bolt.
Yeah, he must have missed that.
Right. I think that would have been the better play, because then you don't even have to sacrifice Thing in the Ice. You get a free attack in for 3.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to repeat this again because I think he has another Bolt. So
Yep.
yeah, we're doing this again.
Yeah, against mid-range decks like this, you kind of just have to go out as fast as you can, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like-
Scott's very happy to play the 1-for-1 game, and
Yeah.
those weren't even 1-for-1s; those were all 2-for-1s. So now there are no threats in play, so he gets to.
Yeah, he just drew his
gets
green
to
source too.
Field of Ruin here. He has a Cletus in hand, so the play is probably just going to be do nothing this turn, hold up Fatal Push. Otherwise, Field of Ruin to get my forest, or I'll just do it now.
Yeah.
Yep. And then there's a lightning axe in Kevin's graveyard. So I mean, since that's in there, the number of answers that he has to this Kalitas are like pretty low. So
Right.
I don't know how many lightning axe they run. It's like 2 usually.
2 or 3, I think.
So he has a fairly low number of answers left.
Right.
He's fetching down to 19 here.
Yep. Yeah, Kalitas will just take the game over pretty quickly.
Yeah, doesn't have any answer for it. I think one of the best ways he can beat it here is if he draws a Crackling Drake. That could probably erase it.
Definitely did not. I believe he just drew another basic island. Got a Manamorphose, though. I had two of
it's a redraw.
something.
Yeah, that's a Crackling
That's a
Drake.
Crackling Drake, so
Yeah.
I hope he made red and blue.
Yeah. I think you should. Because you're... Oh, no, that's
No.
that's an Izzet charm.
Okay.
They both have lightning bolts on them. I mean, that Izzet charm isn't doing anything.
Right, that's what? Draw 2 cards.
That's one side of it's Faithless Suiting, and the other side is Spell Pierce.
Right, draw 2, then discard 2.
And the other side is Shock. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shock, but only to a creature.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, bad Flame Slash.
Yeah. Scavenging Ooze. Okay.
I would have rather just play the...
I don't know. He could be playing this to scout for an answer.
I guess.
Because if he gets this big enough, then like anything that would answer Kalidas answers this, right? So if he
Right.
spends it to get rid of this, I guess he's using this for loot mode.
It looked like you got a Phoenix.
Yeah, he's gonna discard it. I feel like at this point,
You can't.
you would rather just hold on to it and
Right.
cast it, because
Did
it's gonna get eaten by the Scavenging Ooze.
Serum Visions, okay.
So he has a pretty low chance.
Drew
of-
Lightning Axe?
Yeah. So like this is a situation where playing the Scoos first is good, right?
Right.
Because now that's the second Lightning Axe gone from his deck.
He has a second Serum Visions in hand, it looks
Yeah.
like.
So you can bring back the Phoenix here.
Yeah. What's he drawing? Whatever it was he left on top.
Well, it is only one Phoenix, and he has Kalidas in hand and a Fatal Push. So like,
Well, he has to get Revolt triggered.
yeah, but he has a Field of Ruin in play, so you can play Kalidas in the next turn.
Right.
Kill
But
it.
then it'll probably get Lightning Axed. Because it looked like he drew Manamorphose, yep. And that's his third spell.
Well, he's got to think. Kevin's got to think. Do I want to
What did he just
Lightning Axe?
draw?
I have no idea.
It was a red card.
He's got to think. Do I want to Lightning Axe the Scavenging Ooze, or do I want to wait? Yeah, he's just gonna do it now. That's a gut shot. So he's gonna Lightning Axe this, which is fine.
Yeah. The only thing is that does trigger Revolt for Scott, so he does have a Fatal Push. But I don't think you want to play it this turn on the Phoenix.
Honestly, it's not really getting that much better. I'd consider it, although I'd probably be more interested in holding on to it for a Crackling Drake later.
Well, no, with Kevin having no cards in hand, the Phoenix, if it just sits there, is going to do a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at any point, he can just draw into like a Manamorphose, like Thought Scour, or just self-mill myself and get an Arclight back.
Yeah.
So like, I think you have to play it with Kalidas out and like make it sure it gets exiled.
Yep. I think being empty-handed here, you just play Kalidas out. Like,
Yeah, and it's gonna gain you the life back that the Arclight's
mm-hmm.
attacking for too.
like honestly, what are the chances?
Oh, that's Catacomb, so that triggers Revolt for him. Yeah.
So the play here is pretty simple. You just
Yep.
play Kalidas and Fatal Push the Phoenix away.
Looks like he's gonna opt for Scoos instead. 'Cause I think he just drew another one. Maybe not.
He's thinking.
No, he's going for Kalidas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the best possible play here. There's a reason why everyone's main decking this card now.
Yeah,
It's
very good card.
actually just very good against a lot of the format right now, which is
Right.
Unfair decks that like to use the graveyard in some way.
Yeah, I just love this card. I also love that it's a replacement effect too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can miss the trigger on the zombie, but you cannot miss the trigger for the exile.
All right, so he's gonna fetch down to 10 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just get rid of that.
It gets exiled. I hope they realize that. That is not a May.
Well,
Even if they miss it, it cannot be missed.
yeah. It looks like he's digging through for a zombie token in his box.
No, he was grabbing his phone.
Okay. Well, that is a missed trigger. However, if he
does not-
attempts to
yes.
bring back the Phoenix, I will go over
Yes,
there. And
because he cannot.
yeah.
I got into an argument with a judge over that one time. It was funny.
Inquisition you. Would you like to discard my Mill 2 for 1 mana? Yeah. And now this is just over. Although it'd be over much faster if the zombie was on the board. But
Right.
unfortunately, he missed his trigger.
Uh,
Okay, well,
we kind of have to stop that one, right?
yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Although he should be at 14 because. Yes, the Phoenix is in exile. So we did get this. We were just waiting to see if anything happened with it. So yeah, he's gonna come in for what, 5 now?
Yeah, I wasn't going to go over there and interrupt them unless it became relevant, and it immediately did. So.
Exactly. It looks like we're gonna see him exile all 3 thing in the ice.
So that means 3 extra damage, right?
Yes. Also 3 extra life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep, and he has no draws left in this deck that could possibly save him here.
I mean, he's got a 4th thing in the ice.
Uh,
Doesn't really do much other than bounce those things
I mean,
back.
there are very, very good odds that Scott is just holding double removal spell right now, so
Looks like he has a duress question mark.
there's no way he's main decking
No,
Duress.
it's a Bob.
That's
It's a Bob.
and an Assassin's Trophy.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah,
he has removal spell, single removal spell. It just like it was the old Bob, so it looked like
Yeah. It's like old Duress.
Bedlam Reveler.
I
Okay,
mean, still not good enough.
that's
but
a draw though.
Yeah.
It's basically what?
I wasn't aware they were still playing this.
Most of them aren't.
Yeah. This was in some early builds. I played a version of the Phoenix deck before Guilds came out. During spoiler season.
Mm-hmm.
Someone sent me like almost the exact 60 of what ended up being the Arclight deck, and they're like, start playing this.
Yeah.
I played like 3 matches and didn't do very well, so I immediately wrote it off as a joke, and then I got very upset after the set came out.
It was a Maelstrom pulse.
Okay.
And that's just going to proceed the scoop there.
I was very sad after the set released, and I had the opportunity to spec on Phoenixes, and I didn't.
There we go. That was bugging me.
Sure.
It was like just way up there.
So Michael's got 3 Fulminator Mage, 2 Surgical, 2 Brutality, 1 Spellbomb, 1 Explosives, 1 Kitchen Finks, 1 Graft Digger's Cage, 1 Tireless Tracker, 1 Nissa, 1 Liliana, and a Damnation. Surgical Extraction, now Spellbomb, and Graft Digger's Cage are all slam dunks. You basically can't lose the game if they stick. Other than that, Kitchen Finks is like an alright card if you have something you want to get rid of out of your main deck to swap for it. Maybe you're interested in playing Damnation, but probably not.
No.
And then over on Kevin's side, we've got 2 Pithing Needle, 2 Blood Moon, 2 Mana Leak, 2 Izzet Staticaster, 1 Niv Mizzet Perun, 2 Dive Down, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Abrade. This is definitely not a Blood Moon matchup. If this was Jund, it
definitely
would
not.
be a Blood Moon
Yeah.
matchup. But this deck plays like 10 basics,
Mhm.
maybe like 8 to 6, somewhere between 6 to 10 basics.
Right.
So it just doesn't have text most of the time, especially if he had a chance to Field of Ruin you already. Pithing Needle, probably not any good enough targets. You could name Liliana, but in general, you probably shouldn't care about that card too much.
You could name Scoos though.
You could.
And because of how prevalent Scoos was in game 1, maybe you see it.
Yeah, you might
I don't
try
know.
it. Niv Mizzet Prune,
No.
generally you just want to board in a bunch of threats against the mid-range deck. So I'm okay with bringing that in here.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. I don't know. I think it's too high of a mana cost to cast.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very taxing on your mana because it's 3 blue, 3 red.
Yeah.
And then also like it dies to like any removal spell basically.
Yeah, but that's not really an argument because it replaces itself. So that you're like okay with that.
I guess. Dive down I see probably coming in.
Yeah, dive down's pretty obvious.
Braids too. Just because you are assuming he's bringing in
A
spell
braid,
bombs
a braid
and
is
Grave
awkward in
Diggers.
this matchup. It like doesn't kill enough things to be relevant, but you probably bring it anyway just because it's artifact hate.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that this sideboard doesn't have more artifact hate. Most people are on Shatterstorms
Yep.
at this point.
Yeah. Thanks to Dave Duran.
Yeah, I don't see any of those in there. So, I mean, if Scott finds one of his artifact hate pieces, then Kevin could be out of the game pretty quickly.
Right. What was I about to say with it? Yeah, a lot of the decks are on Shatterstorm, and it actually is really funny because like you know Dave,
Mm-hmm.
and he top 32'd that GP Toronto, and had like 2 Shatterstorms in his deck, and he was playing against Whir, and he had Shatterstorm as an out in his deck and just never found it.
Yeah.
But like after they saw like he was like, oh, everyone was like, oh yeah, Shatterstorm's still a card. Let's play it.
Yep.
So a player from around here, brought that card back.
Scott looking at
Basically.
a very strong hand. He has
Goyf.
he has Surgical, he has Goyf, and he has Fatal Push. And
And
Assassin's
then-
Trophy.
yeah.
All reasonable cards in this matchup.
Yep.
Including a sideboard card that can just win him the game. So he's very happy to keep that hand. Kevin, on the other hand, I didn't see what he had, but he was not very happy
Yeah.
with it.
Just to let everyone know, tonight is 60 people in 6 rounds.
Yeah. So
You're just like,
to beat this hand, Kevin is going to need to find a hand that flips Phoenix quickly, or not flips Thing of the Ice quickly. Either
it
that,
still dies to Fatal Push though.
it does. You don't cap it at 4 rounds on a work night. It's not a work night.
Memorial Day's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it is. We would normally cap it at 5 at max, if it was this many people, just because we don't want a bunch of XOs at the end. But because tomorrow's Memorial Day, we're letting it go to 6 rounds.
All right. So yeah, we do normally cap it.
Yeah.
We're not. We cap it at 5 rounds, and even then we still get out of here at like midnight. So yeah, it's kind of rough.
Right. The last few weeks has only been 4 rounds.
Yeah, everyone's been watching Game of Thrones, but I guess everyone's just back now. So
Right. And he used to cap it at 4 rounds, and he's going to 5. This is brutal and is.
yeah, his hand was lands and 2 Phoenixes.
I mean, that's all you
the-
need.
the 6 he saw. I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad against Surgical, but you know.
Yeah, that's really bad against Surgical. Last time I got a Surgical cast against me, they cast 3 of them in their end step in response to me resolving a Gifts Ungiven.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's
3 Surgicals in their hand. They're just like surgical, 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 and I still went off the next turn. It was great.
How many rounds are we at today? 5 or 6?
6.
We're at 6 today. This hand is actually way better. He has it's either Phoenix or Faithless Looting. No, that's a Phoenix, and he has a couple cantrips and some lands. Probably not going to be good enough against the start that Scott has, but it's a pretty solid hand. You'd be happy with this hand most of the time, although you'd probably wish you had a Faithless Looting instead of one of those blue cantrips.
Right.
Kevin going to drop down to 19 here. Probably going to see Serum Visions.
Yeah. So I've noticed that he doesn't play with a lot of. Someone bumped the camera. Doesn't play with a lot of like the regular land base that we normally see. You know, like the
Oh yeah, yeah.
playing like
I haven't
basics and
seen
then
a
steam
Spire
vents.
Bluff Canal or a Shivan Reef or any of those.
They play Sulphur Falls, not Shivan Reef.
Right, right.
Storm plays Shivan Reef.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why like I every time I would like be like turn one.
I'm
Spire
excited
Bluff.
for this deck to start playing the Horizon Canopy for blue-red.
Oh, I'm excited for that in Storm too.
Yeah.
But I am not excited about Flusterstorm.
Yeah.
Not at all. Because I like the worst part is it forces me to play it.
Oh yeah.
So that means I have to
Yeah.
go pick up four Flusterstorms. So
Well, they'll be cheap, right? Like
I don't know.
after
Last
the
time
set
it got
comes out. Oh
well,
wait, isn't it the buy a box promo?
it got reprinted already,
Yeah, it did.
and it
did.
it only dropped to like $20.
Well, is it in the set this time or is it
Yeah.
a buy a box promo?
It's in the set, I believe.
Okay. So if it's in the set and it's only at rare, not mythic, it'll be fine.
I hope so.
Because this set's going to be opened a lot,
Yeah.
probably.
I still need Flusterstorms.
There are enough like mediocre commander bait cards in the set to get people to open boxes.
Yeah. No, this set looks sweet though.
It does. I'm a little upset. It's only available as a buy a box promo. Yeah,
Is it?
that's what I thought.
That's awful.
Okay, so yeah, never mind about Flusterstorm being cheap.
Yep. I hate every second of this. This is why I don't play Modern
Okay,
anymore.
so I don't know. It's still a new printing, so it'll lower the price. Maybe.
Well, last time it lowered it by $60, but it's still at $20.
Well, yeah, but that was the first printing of that card in a while, right?
Yeah.
So like that's fine.
Oh, I can't look up the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't give me the. Oh, that makes me sad. Anyway, not much is going on
Scott
here.
opting to not cast the Tarmogoyf in his hand.
It's a.
Because it would die to lightning bolt,
Would it?
right?
No. It would live. There's a land and there's a sorcery. He casts instant, it lives.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because that whole weird thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he doesn't know that then.
Okay.
But you're adding demand from Modern. That's true. Yeah, that's actually very true. Honestly, Flusterstorm's price could just go up.
Yeah, I'm going to probably pick up 4 with my next paycheck.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're adding a huge pool of players that now want this card. So, yeah, that makes sense. Kevin getting a hard cast Phoenix.
Yeah. And he's going to Assassin's Trophy it. Yep.
Yeah,
Go get your land.
I think that's a pretty safe target.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, because now he can just surgical it.
It's he can surgical it, and it's very obvious that Kevin has nothing going on in his hand. So even if there was no surgical in Scott's hand, how is
Yeah.
he going to bring it back from this point?
Correct.
They need to stop with this buy a box stuff. Every time they do it, everyone hates it. I personally don't like it.
I hate it because they're foil, and I hate foils. I hate playing foils.
Well, okay, so when they first did it with what Fire Song and Sunspeaker, that's fine. That was like a novelty card basically. That's like fringe playable in Commander, right?
Right.
But then they did Nexus of Fate, and
Oh.
then it's like, well, what are you doing?
I'm happy about this part then.
Flusterstorm's not foil. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Then, yeah, maybe I'll buy some boxes.
Because it's expected to see competitive play. That's funny. That's actually really funny because they don't want another Nexus of Fate situation.
Yeah.
Let me just sleeve up 4 basic mountains in my
Oh, yeah, because everyone was.
my Bant reclamation deck.
Okay, yeah, Dan Krapu did that.
Yeah, no, you had to do that.
Mine were not warped at all.
Oh well,
And I have.
you got lucky.
Yeah, I have 4 of them. They're like mine. They're like pristine.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's because I kept them in my binder the whole time, like till I started playing the deck, and I played the deck for like 3 weeks.
Kevin should be at
He's lost
16. He fetched
Yeah.
once and was hit.
fetched twice.
He fetched twice. Okay,
and
so
2. And
so-
then Treetop's 3/3.
Yep.
Yeah. So 15.
Opt. You see the dive down he brought in. Looks pretty bad here.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem with Dive Down is it's reliant on you already having a creature in play, and that's kind of a big ask in this matchup.
Yeah. Does he have? Oh, he's got a thing in the ice though. So this dive down
mean,
doesn't look awful now.
Yeah,
Except for to this damnation.
yeah. Like
it looks pretty bad to that.
you have like a reasonable chance of this thing living here, except for the fact that he has exactly damnation, and I don't think Kevin's playing counter spells.
Yeah. So we're gonna see if we can flip. I don't think he wants to flip it this turn.
I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I think he probably wants to hold up Dive Down, so he's not going to cast any more spells, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, he's going to cast Serum Visions. He's got 1 red floating, I'm assuming. They said they want to get away from Biobox being foil.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Like, he's gonna gut shot him.
I mean, you can make nice, like, non-foil promos. The Braid promo they did for Hour of Devastation game day, big fan of that card.
Oh, the full art.
Yeah,
Oh, I love full art non foils.
yeah. Or what was the one they did before that? Trophy Mage? I had one of
yes.
those.
There was True Heart Duelist, Conclave Naturalist.
Yep,
Languish. No, that one was foil though.
that was, yeah. Yeah, but those promos are really nice.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, he played his tap land. We got to dive down here.
Well,
so.
here's the thing. He played the second Treetop Village this turn, and then he tapped that Blooming Marsh to cast that. So, he's holding the Damnation and can't cast it this turn, unfortunately. So
And
he's
it flips-
gonna
hit
take
for
7.
Yeah.
He could just cast the Tarmogoyf here. Probably. I don't know if it trades or I can't tell how
Oh,
big Tarmogoyf is.
I just
at this
realized I
point.
had these life totals flipped.
Oh, okay. Well,
That would help.
can't wait to mess around with the counter less than 2 and the fake force. Counter less than 2.
What's
I'm trying to
this?
think. I'm trying to think of what card you're talking about. I know they have a lot of weird. Prohibit. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I don't know that Prohibit's really that playable, honestly. Crackling Drake.
That's a good one. but
That's
it's-
really bad to play into a Damnation,
yeah.
though.
Did he draw off of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, I mean, like, Spell Pierce, right?
Mm-hmm. I think the card I'm more interested in, as far as like counterspells go, is Archmage's Charm. I'm also very interested to see if Archmage's Charm means that there's a cycle of monocolored charms, because that'd be really cool.
I gotta find it.
Yep, Damnation's gonna resolve.
Yep.
No way Kevin can answer that. He has a second Crackling Drake to back it up, though.
Yeah, I like this card.
Scale up?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a 4 of an infect.
Just make my Inkmoth Nexus a 6/4. Seems good.
Mm-hmm. No cycle because we have. I haven't seen that card. Is that a card? I might be a little bit behind on my spoilers.
It would be new. What color is it?
I don't know. I've not seen that card.
I like the swords too.
They're very bad. They're like standard power level.
It's black card.
You could straight up print those swords into standard and they wouldn't do anything.
Oh, there it is. Umazawa's Charm.
Oh, I don't know that means anything, right? I mean, it's just that card's like
we're
pretty
getting in with
pretty medium.
Quagmire here. Quagmire's a 2/2, right?
Yep.
Yeah, with Death Touch.
So I guess he doesn't have a removal spell for this Crackling Drake. I don't know what his plan is here then. Because this is just gonna kill him, right?
Wait, why didn't he play Spellbomb? He has Spellbomb in hand.
It doesn't do anything. Crackling Drake sees cards in exile.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
That is right. How big is this thing?
None of the other swords see modern play anyway.
So-
Yeah, because for some reason Stoneforge
6.
Mystic is still banned, so none of the swords see play. I'm trying to think of like how overpowered they would have to make one of these swords to make them it actually modern playable without Stoneforge Mystic, and I honestly can't think of like text that is good enough. Other than really dumb stuff like you win the game.
Yeah, I'm not saying for modern. I'm just saying in general I like the swords.
Oh yeah, they're like nicely designed.
Yeah.
But they just like won't do anything. Stoneforge Batterskull has been fine.
Yeah.
They could have unbanned it like a year and a half ago, and it would have been fine.
They won't though.
I feel like they have to at some point, right?
At some point probably, but like they don't want to admit their mistakes.
Mm.
It's like how they didn't unban Reflector Mage in Standard when it had no reason to be banned. Same thing with Rampaging Ferocitodon. Like,
yeah,
they banned Ferocitodon and then gave us Chain Whirler.
Scott gonna pick up his cards because he gets hit twice by a Drake and can't do anything about it. Yeah, how they unbanned and rebanned Grave Troll. I think that's a very different situation. I don't think anyone really thought Grave Troll was gonna work, and it didn't last very long. Same with Wild Nacatl. Yeah, that one was also kind of a joke.
I think they should unban Git Probe.
They said it's fine. They don't want every deck just having one Batterskull. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Because it wouldn't be every deck having a Batterskull. What decks that exist right now would play Stoneforge Mystic? You've got Death and Taxes, which is a meme deck, basically. You've got Abzan, which probably puts a couple Stoneforge Mystic and a Batterskull in. Maybe. Like, honestly, it's probably hard for that even to make the cut. And that's fine. Like, didn't Scott have the win? Activate 2 Treetop Village for 2 turns.
He died to the what is that card? Crackling Drake before he could get 2 turns.
Well, no, he's saying that
Instead of activating Quagmire, he activates Treetop.
yeah, because Treetop Village only costs 2 mana to activate.
Oh, he could have, and then he could have swung 6, 10.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention to the math.
He was at 15. He went down to 12, and then
He also had a
you get an
Tarmogoyf in
attack.
play that was 4 power. So
Right, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it would have left Kevin at 2.
oh, okay.
Because he would have been able to activate 1 Treetop Village that one turn. The turn he played Goyf, he would have been able to activate that attack, and then untap and attack with 2 Treetop Village and a Goyf that was a 4/5, and it would put Kevin to 2 because Kevin was at 15 before that.
Okay.
And then he went to 13. Yeah.
I already play Batterskull on my sideboard and hope they don't ban it to Unborn Stoneforge. I don't know. Like, I would be extremely surprised if Batterskull somehow got the ban. Like, are they at a point where they're just going to preemptively ban cards that they think might be too strong before waiting? I mean, they did it with Ferocitodon, basically, right?
Kind of.
The whole idea was, oh, now that energy's gone, the red deck's going to be too strong, so let's preemptively ban stuff before the meta evolves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's just ridiculous on its face to ban a 5-mana card from Modern. Even if you can cheat it in on turn 3.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't do anything, like, a pretty reasonable amount of the time.
I think people just complain too much about bannings, and, like, we should just not ban anything.
Okay, well...
That's not... I mean, like, there should be no more bannings currently. I think the format's fine how it is. It's healthy.
Like, people wanting Looting Band isn't the problem, Anamorphose is.
That one can be argued both ways.
Yeah, so, like, on one hand, looting enables a lot of decks. But if you look at the ones that are, like... I don't know.
So here's my argument for this. And we talked about this on a podcast, which you can go watch our YouTube channel and like check that out. And we like Austin and I talked about this like in depth for like an hour about like how we feel on the banning, like how they should ban looting or Manamorphose. And here's like it's the GameStorm Magic podcast. It's on GameStorm. It's a YouTube channel. I'll find it after this match.
Just go click on that YouTube tab.
Oh, I could probably just go to
and
playlist.
literally just
Where's
just
podcast?
paste the playlist.
Here's like the whole playlist for podcast. But anyway, the fact that like there are other decks that abuse Manamorphose more than like this deck does, right? Like when I play it in Storm, I'm making it a 1 mana, make me 2 mana and draw a card.
Yeah.
Whereas this deck is just using it to pay 2 mana to get 2 mana and draw a card.
Well, here's the thing. Like, also you have to think about like, are any of the decks that are playing looting actually too strong?
No. I mean, at the time, Phoenix was, but that's because just everyone was playing it.
Yeah, and then people started playing this deck and just stomping it.
Yeah.
Storm is hated so much, I wish I could play it, but it's so hated it was my first modern
I
deck.
still play it.
Yeah, so like, I don't know.
It's right now it's hated because of Phoenix. Everything that everyone plays that is hate for Phoenix is just coincidentally hate for Storm.
Yeah.
And like that's the problem right now. If it weren't for Phoenix, it would be completely fine.
Scott might just lose to this thing in the ice.
If we can flip it, yeah. Did he cast these?
No, I believe he pitched them with, is it Charm or Looting or one of the two?
So he has Phoenix, Lightning Axe, which you're probably going to see on like that.
Yep. The issue with Manamorphose is it counts as a spell for not losing anything. That's why people are upset, because it's 2 costs to get 2 mana, draw a card. That's the problem. I mean, sure, but like I can make a pretty simplistic argument like that about like literally any efficient card in Modern. Like, oh, Thoughtseize is 1 mana, take your best card. Like, obviously.
Why didn't he bolt in response?
I don't know. That's actually a very good question, because now that Phoenix is like never flipping.
Yeah,
but I think Manamorphose like also just isn't a problem. I don't think there are any cards that are a problem right now at all.
Yeah. I mean, like, Mycosynth Lattice is kind of a problem, but it also has so many answers. That Hissing Quagmire does not have Vigilance.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing there. It's not going to matter, but...
I sure hope it doesn't. There we go.
Yeah, and also, like, banning something like Mycosynth Lattice out of Modern is just kind of ridiculous on its face, so...
Did he... if he drew another 1-drop and this thing could have flipped, like, that would be very unfortunate.
Yeah. Karn is boltable as well. Yeah. There are so many answers to the Mycosynth Lattice lock that
but you also have
not...
but you have to have them in hand at the time that Karn gets played.
Yeah. Or you need to have a board state of some sort.
Correct.
Well, the other thing is, like, they can't always play Karn and Mycosynth Lattice in the same turn. So
I mean, like, 9 times out of 10 they can.
Yeah, but, like, that would mean, like, you haven't disrupted them at all up to that point, and you kind of have to do that.
I mean, I don't disrupt my opponent at all.
Well, yeah, you're playing a combo deck.
But I could also just reman Mycosynth Lattice. So... All right, so let's see what we get here.
Yeah, Kevin just dying to Hissing Quagmire slowly.
Currently, yes.
There's a second one.
Thing in the ice.
At some point, he's just going to have to throw these away to block Hissing Quagmire.
Yeah. Also, the bad part is that like Scott can just take a turn off if he thinks the thing is gonna flip, and then just activate hissing Quagmire after it flips and then
Well,
block.
he's got a scavenging ooze, so he can just like play it and just start like tearing apart his graveyard.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. So the problem is, um, if Kevin flips these, the game's probably over.
Most likely.
And you have to think like,
Well, like I said, unless Scott he has two hissing Quagmires currently. If he takes a turn off and doesn't attack with them, and then Kevin flips both things in the same turn,
yeah, he can hold them back.
he could
as
just hold them
blockers.
back and
Yeah.
then animate both of them and block, and then
Mhm.
kill the two things that just flipped, and then he just has a board state again. He's just gonna block with the
Are there any creatures to eat with ooze? Yeah, there are 2 Phoenix and
and
Kevin's
a thing in the ice
graveyard.
now.
Yep.
Let's see what we get. Land.
So you can do land flashback looting.
He has
That's
a dive
okay.
down. He has a dive down and a red card in hand.
I mean, does he really want to just like? I mean, he doesn't know this, but Scott's holding Liliana as his last card, right? So I don't know how much he wants to play into that. There are a lot of cards in Scott's hand that can answer a flipped thing in the ice.
Right.
Well, there are a lot of cards in his deck that can answer a flipped thing in the ice. So he's got to think like, what does he want to do? Yeah, draw surgical or no, field of ruin. He's got a couple options here.
Lily, make him sack the creature.
Yep.
And then
That can't
Animate.
be interacted with.
yeah, he's just gonna skip
Yep.
that.
I'm gonna pick up his cards.